Okay, looks good. All right, welcome back to another geography quiz video. Start with global as usual. This is the third day, and I forget what yesterday's was. So I have to start with Oman. I like it. It's short to type, and it's right, pretty central. So it's nice. All right, 12,000 kilometers. So I'm gonna guess we're in Oceania right now. So let's just go with something like Tuvalu. I believe the second smallest country in the world. Kind of central Oceania, and it seems like we are in Oceania. I mean, maybe we'll just get New Zealand out of the way, get like a little easy one. Okay, so it's north of Tuvalu, so we can go somewhere like I mean, we got Marshall Islands, we got Micronesia. It's cooler than New Zealand. Oh, so maybe it's just like Papua New Guinea? Papua New Guinea is the closest. Then Tuvalu, then New Zealand. So is it Solomon Islands? It might just be Solomon Islands. That's way closer to Papua New Guinea than I was banking on. So it's probably Vanuatu. It is Vanuatu. Okay. A little too many guesses for my liking. Okay. Capitals. So, Funafuti, the capital of Vanuatu, we'll start with. Sorry, that's the capital of Tuvalu. Port Vila is the capital of Vanuatu. My fault. But I'm not gonna guess Port Vila because this is 16,000 kilometers away. So I'm gonna guess somewhere like Athens. Okay, warmer. 2,000 kilometers still. So maybe somewhere like Yaoundé. Okay, in the middle there. Not quite in chat. Maybe it's Khartoum. It is Khartoum. Okay, that's much better. Much better than the regular round. Okay. Geogrid now. So, pretty populous capital. Let's see the statistics. So, less than half of the 50th percentile. Less than a fifth of the average. So, I guess not that populous. Oh, under 500K. That makes more sense now. Okay. Well, that's going to be easy. You have stuff like Antigua and Barbuda. You got like a lot of those islands are, let me think, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Kitts and Nevis. Let's think. You got Solomon Islands. I'm going to save that one because we got a lot of those. So, one weird thing I found here is... Sorry, there's stuff on my camera. One weird thing I found here is in the past when doing this, they don't count like the Lesser Antilles, like the like Antigua and Barbuda and St. Lucia, St. Vincent, all of them, they like don't count as a coastline on the Atlantic, which I'm just gonna show on Google Maps here. They form like St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Grenada, Trinidad, Montserrat, Guadeloupe, all of them, Dominica, St. Kitts, they all form. So like Antigua probably they would probably count. Anguilla, I don't know if they would count because they form the boundary between the Caribbean and the Atlantic. So all of them, this east side is the Atlantic and the west side is the Caribbean, but for some reason they don't count that, which is weird. But I mean, I feel like they have to count Antigua and Barbuda, but let me think if I can think of anything else. I mean, I'll go with Antigua. Antigua and Barbuda. Okay. So they do count that. They don't count a bunch of the other ones, though. Greater than 200,000 kilometers in the Atlantic, so 200,000 kilometers, that's like a little bit above 50 percentile, but way below average. So like I feel like Morocco is 200,000 kilometers for sure. The DRC has a slight coastline, so that might be like a good sneaky one to put. Because the coastline's pretty small. Oh wait, sorry for this one. I mean, you got Morocco, Cote d'Ivoire. I think I would have to say Cote d'Ivoire is over 200,000 kilometers. Cameroon, I would say, has to be Nigeria. And then obviously you have all like the North America, South America, not Central America, but North, South America. Those ones are like Chile actually might be a good one here because they barely touch the Atlantic. I actually like that one. And a lot of people may think that they're small. Nice, okay. Good. A lot of people also would probably think that they're small because it's so skinny, but actually they're bigger than Texas. Texas is pretty big. There's not many countries that are that much bigger than them. And yeah. I mean, I feel like the number one answer here is going to be Mongolia, but you also have Australia. The United States honestly might be under. Like Washington D.C. might be less than 500K. If you don't count the metropolitan, like the surroundings, you can just count the city proper, which I believe is all that they count here. So that might be a good one. Okay, there's no GDP per capita data. So let's think. I mean, I'm sure that Jersey has a high GDP per capita. I could be wrong, but I would say that they probably do. Andorra might have a sneaky animal in that coat of arms. I can't really like picture the details of the coat of arms. Malta also might inside the cross. I believe Malta does inside the cross. Malta does have an animal. So actually, I think I'm gonna go Malta for this one. Nice. Okay. I forget what animal's in there. I just know that from this game. Coastline of the Atlantic. Well, if we don't want to risk the GDP per capita, Jersey's coastline is on the Atlantic Ocean. So, I believe it counts. I believe it counts like the North Sea and stuff like that. So, I mean, we could do Jersey here. But then I'd have to think of a GDP per capita, a high GDP per capita with an animal. So let's think of that. We'll back pocket Jersey because I should apply for either of these, I would guess. But this one doesn't have to be on the Atlantic, so you have Luxembourg, Liechtenstein, very good money. Gibraltar, none of them have animals though. Monaco, Singapore, probably. 20K is not crazy though. 20K is not that high. I think we're at like 70. I think the US is something like that. So even Mexico might be over 20. I doubt it. Mexico's probably not over 20. Bolivia might be. Bolivia would not be surprising. Egypt probably is. I think I'm gonna go with I think, does Equatorial Guinea have a sneaky animal? I don't think so. I think it's just a tree. And Guernsey does not have an animal. Jersey has in the 3 lions in the British coat of arms. I don't think Isle of Man would count as an animal. Actually, I'm definitely going to go Jersey for this one. Because the Caribbean, like Cayman Islands. I mean, 9.3, that's not the best, but still, you got stuff like that. Trying to think of like other rich islands. I mean, I thought I've put Anguilla for one of these before, and apparently they're not that rich. Aruba might be. Aruba might be a good one. Let me try and think of. I mean, Saint Kitts. I don't know, cause the people live in it. Like, it's tough with that. I might put Aruba for this one. It's usually pretty low, and maybe I can go somewhere like, no, not New Caledonia. I don't think Wales. I can go somewhere in like one of them nice oceanic places. Yeah, I think I'm gonna, cause Andorra works for this one, but that's probably gonna be pretty high. But that's a good fallback. I know for a fact Andorra works. Damn, Aruba's 12%. Wow, I should have went Anguilla there. Then I should have maybe tried Aruba here. Mongolia's telling you, Mongolia's number 1. New Zealand might be greater than 200,000 kilometers. Or we could go with Cote d'Ivoire here again. I think we shoot Cote d'Ivoire here. Boom. Okay, nice. It is greater than 200,000 kilometers. It's a good round so far. 3 guesses. We got 1 to sell. I mean, we could go New Zealand here. Is it more than 200,000 kilometers, though? It's tricky because, you know, the globe, whatever, the shape. I'm really curious. I'm going to look at the size of New Zealand after I do this, whether I put it or not. Let's try and get one here, and then if we have 2 guesses here, I'll shoot New Zealand. I mean, you got Australia. Australia fills out a lot of these categories. This one, this one, this one, this one. It hits the 4 corners. So, I mean, we could maybe just throw in Australia here and hope somebody put it for, like, this one or this one. Might be a good play. Trying to think of, like, wealthy, larger, like, I mean, is France GDP per capita over 20,000? Probably. Spain, maybe. Germany, most likely. Is the UK over 200,000? I don't know. I don't think. If it is, then New Zealand is. I would assume. Starts and ends with the same letter, GDP. So a high GDP. And I don't remember what the GDP listed was last time. I would assume it was 20K. I would assume it's the same. Because Anguilla did not work when I did this in the past. This grid's taking me a little while. But it's paying out. I mean, we got some good answers. These 2 are... But... let's think. I mean... I could shoot like a St. Lucia. I think that they have good money. It's a very nice place. I think I'm going to shoot a St. Lucia here. Wait, that was almost really stupid because it does not end in the same letter as it starts. That was almost bad. St. Vincent. I don't know how nice St. Vincent is in the... We did Antigua. We can go inland and do... Let me think. Maybe something, not inland, but into the Caribbean. Okay, so, a bit of technical difficulties there. I thought my screen was still recording, and my face cam just cut out because I had no storage, but my screen also cut out. So, I continued, and I was talking through everything and whatnot, and yeah. So this is where I'm at. This is where I finished. A 71, which is a couple points higher than my record score. What's really frustrating, I would have smashed my record score. I would have had like almost a 50. I think it was recorded. I think I was talking about it before my camera cut out. Anguilla here. I think I came to the conclusion that I think the last time that I had Anguilla, where it said the GDP per capita was not high enough. I think it was over 50K because I looked it up after the fact because I saw it right here and here, but I already put Cayman Islands there. This was my thought process to put it here. Yeah, so it's like 25 to 30,000 depending on who you ask, I guess. So that was very frustrating. I went with Australia because I assumed I was trying to play the tricky game, kind of like sometimes it works well where most people put it for one and then they can't put it for another. So I figured Australia here, and Australia here would have been the number one answer. Because I don't think Canberra is over 500K. Oh, let's look it up. I can't imagine it's over 500,000 people. Just under 500,000 people. That's a lot more than I thought. But, so it fits all four of these. I figured this would be the last one anyone would put Australia for. Apparently it wasn't. It wasn't the number one answer, but it was a 20%er. Austria was 37.6. I figured Andorra would have been number one. But I guess most people put Andorra for this one, now that I look. And it does have a sneaky animal. I'll remember that for future reference. So, Spain would have worked as well. So, yeah, Andorra. Yeah, so I figured that they were putting Andorra for this one. And apparently they put Andorra for this one. So I guess my logic worked, but with the wrong country. So that's where I was thinking. Like, if I would have put Andorra here, it would have been very low, considering the fact that Austria was 37.6 and Australia was 20.5, meaning that they came out to 58% between the two of them. So, and there was 5 other answers. 5 other answers to make up 49%. So, I mean, it could have been 20, but I highly doubt it was. So yeah, that was an unfortunate one because that would have been a really good round, and I had a guess to spare because New Zealand was over 200,000 kilometers. And then I also did the travel because I thought it was still recording. Kind of a stinker too. I mean, I did not need to put Burkina Faso or Cameroon here. I was thinking that Burkina Faso bordered Guinea, and I was just gonna go Guinea, Burkina Faso, Niger, but I should have went with the safe one and went Mali, Niger, then Chad, and then I went for Cameroon, and it does not quite border Niger, which is really annoying. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and see you guys tomorrow. I cleared up a bunch of space on my computer, so that should not happen again. All right. See you.